All right, and so now during the day, whenever I am prepared to work, I'll sit down or I'll stand. I prefer to use a standing desk personally, like this one. And I'll look at the list and I'll ask myself, of these 8 things, what is it that I want to work on now, based on my priorities, my interests, my enthusiasm for tasks, which one will make me feel best, which one I'm most capable of accomplishing right now. And I might choose, for example, to knock out my email. I like to do all my email once a day and get it completely done so that the inbox is empty. So I'm going to take that single task, inbox 0, and move it into doing. Now, the best way that I've found for being productive during those times when I've decided to work is to use a method that you might have heard of because it's become very popular, which was developed by an Italian, Francesco Cirillo, and it's called the Pomodoro Technique. It's called the Pomodoro Technique because it involves using a timer to set aside small blocks of time for highly concentrated, focused work. And kitchen timers in Italy are frequently designed to look like tomatoes, and Pomodoro is the Italian word for tomato. You don't have to have a Pomodoro timer in the shape of a tomato kitchen timer to do this. I personally like to use a sand hourglass because it doesn't make noise. Other people use applications on their phones. You can use any kind of timer. But the way it works is you take a task or a set of tasks that you want to focus on doing, either one task to do for the entire time, or a set of small tasks to do one after another. You set your timer for 25 minutes, and then you concentrate for 25 solid minutes at simply doing one task at a time until the timer stops. Not accepting any distractions, close your door, turn off your phone, do whatever it takes to make sure that for 25 minutes you can focus 100% of your energy on just getting work done. It's amazingly powerful because most people very rarely in a normal work day get to focus that much for that long. There are so many distractions in office life, especially if you work in an open plan office where you're interacting with a lot of people. And so it can be quite phenomenal just how much you can accomplish when you focus on accomplishing as much as you can in just 25 minutes. And it's not a frightening block of time. If you want to put a sign on your desk saying, please come and see me in 25 minutes, or in a Pomodoro until 11:15, so that people don't bother you for 25 minutes, and then or put on your headphones or whatever you need to do in order to make sure that you don't get bothered, and then just sit down and start working on the list that you've decided. In this case, I'll see inbox 0. So at this point, I'll set my Pomodoro timer to 25 minutes, or I'll turn over my 30-minute hourglass, which is the one that I like to use, and open my email, and I will just focus on doing nothing but reading and responding to emails for 25 minutes. Now, when the timer goes off, or when the sand is all gone, then stand up, give yourself a 5-minute break to do something completely unrelated to work. It's a great time to get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, to take a quick walk around the building, to do some jumping jacks, to play with your dog. Just take some time to reward yourself for focusing so intently for 25 minutes, because that resets your brain and makes you feel ready to do it again. And once you've had that 5-minute break and you're feeling refreshed and relaxed, you can then repeat the process, looking again at your list of things to do. In this case, perhaps I finished all of my email during that Pomodoro, and now I'm going to work on prepping the Git Kanban game. I only expect that to take about 15 minutes, so I'm also going to book my travel. I'll book my travel, and then I'll prep the Git Kanban game. I set my timer again to 25 minutes, and I focus on one after another. I spend 10 minutes searching for travel options, booking it, putting in the credit card information, getting the confirmation, and moving it to done. And then I'll prep the Git Kanban game. I'll get it out, lay out all the pieces, make sure everything's in place, and do everything that I need in order to get ready in order to play the Git Kanban game with my class. When it's finished and the timer goes off, I can move that to done. And so in that way, I'll work through my entire day as a series of 25-minute stints of hard work, focused energy, and 5-minute breaks. I'll take longer breaks when I need them, for lunch or or just to relax and rest. Now, some people might think, well, in an 8-hour day, one should be able to do 16 Pomodoros, right? If a Pomodoro takes 25 minutes and a break between Pomodoros is 5 minutes, you should be able to do 2 Pomodoros an hour or 16 in an 8-hour day. I have never seen that happen personally. I work in an office and I work with other people, and I have obligations that don't necessarily fit into this sort of orderly practice. I have people who I need to talk to. I have people who need things from me. Sometimes my telephone rings. And so in my personal experience, in my style of work and in my workplace, it's very rare for me to get more than 4 or 5 Pomodoros done during a working day. Some people who perhaps work at home and don't have any distractions might be able to get 8 or 10 Pomodoros done in a day. But the important thing is that you're doing focused work as opposed to ad hoc task switching busyness. You're not just being busy for 8 hours. You are getting things done, and the things that you decided in advance this morning were the most important things for you to do in this day. That's one of the reasons why I have a limit of only 8 items, because during the day I'll take some phone calls, I'll sit in on a few meetings, I'll have people who want to talk to me about things in the hallway, I'll have conversations in the lunchroom or over the water cooler, and all of these things are important to me. So I realize that I'm only going to have maybe 3 or 4 hours of actual focused work time during my workday. So 8 is my limit of the number of things that I can count on getting done in a day. Yours might be different, and as you work, you'll get a feel for just what you can accomplish. If you find that you are routinely finishing all of the tasks that you pulled in the morning for the day, maybe you should set your limit a bit higher. Or if you find that you're always frustrated, that every day you try to commit to 8 things and you never do more than 4 or 5, then perhaps you should figure out which are the 4 or 5 most important things to do at each day and set your limit appropriately. And so in this way, I'll work through my entire day, hopefully getting everything finished. Now, if for some reason I don't finish everything that I planned, I will simply take whatever's left and put it back into my week plan, because what I think is most important to me right now may not be what I think is most important to me tomorrow morning after a night's sleep.